Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you miss any most excellent videos. In front of us we have the XHDATA D-808. It's an AM, FM stereo, long wave, short wave with single sideband and airband portable radio. I got mine for $85 shipped from California. Yes, from California. I was on my eBay listing, shopping around, and found this really cheap. It said from China and expected in 2 months. But surprise, surprise, 5 days later, it arrived on my doorstep, and that was awesome. So here's the box. It's got some bullet points here. Kind of look down the list here. Single sideband, everybody loves single sideband. Airband, nice. I like listening to planes. RDS, cool feature. Didn't expect that. That's awesome. Expanded FM, 64 to 108. Antenna jack for the FM and shortwave. Key lock. We have an 18650 cell, I believe, in this one. Yep, 18650. Direct numeric key entry. Key in, okay. There you go. So get an idea what this does. There's a picture of it. And of course, we're going to go over all the features because it's fun. Features are fun. I know it's the back. Oh yeah, frequency ranges, there you go. So yeah, there's the FM, but like I said, it is 64 to 108. Oh, there they put it in brackets. Here it says AM 520 to 1710. On the radio, I think it says 1610 or 1620. Shortwave, full shortwave coverage, awesome. Long wave, 150 to 450. Air, you can read that there. And there's your charging voltage and everything else. So, okay, that's the box. So inside this box, there was an inner box. It was kind of difficult to get out. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that was. So you get like a white box that holds everything. It should be empty. I took everything out to show you guys what came in this. But this nice protection to see that. I'm glad they did this. So a box within a box. First thing, we get a cable. It's going to kind of bring us down a little bit. All right, so we have a micro USB to charge the 18650 lithium ion battery that's inside the radio. You get a battery right away, which is nice. No need to buy batteries. Batteries included. That's a good thing. Next, they give you a little wire. I didn't measure it, but it looks to be about a 10-foot wire. There's your little plug-in for the side. There's a side jack for it. You just string this up to inside of the blinds, tie it off somewhere, and you're good to go. Give you a little extra boost on the FM and shortwave. Also, I thought it was a nice touch. They give you a little pouch, XHDATA. And this pouch has actually got a nice soft lining in it. So yeah, you carry your radio around in this. Next, we get a manual, which is really tiny and pretty basic. You'll learn a little bit about what you need to do. Just very simple. There are some misprints in here. They talk about certain things, and I'll try to touch on 1 or 2 of those. And there's also like 1 or 2 features that you will not be able to figure out unless you have the manual. So, but here it all is. I'm just kind of flipping through real quick. And some people might go, hey, what does this do? You know, if I missed it, I found it here. Well, I flip this around. Let me just get this out of here. What's that? I'll show it to you in a second. So there you go. And then here's specs on the bands again. You can pause and look at those. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. That's that. Pretty simple. If you look here, it says Radio Wow. You guys are familiar with the Radio Wow R108, which is an awesome radio. And of course, you can tell that XHDATA is the same company. Okay. So, all right, and they give us a little slip. I think it says, you know, are you satisfied with your product, dear friend? Okay, I'm a friend. That's a good thing. RadioWow.com, even their website. So there you go. Go visit it. Check it out. But there's it. All right, so let's get going. The radio came bubble wrapped, which is awesome, and in a protective sleeve. Even better. So love that. Let's get the radio over here. All right, here it is. Let's go over some dimensions real fast. Including the tuning knob on the side, it's 6 1/4 inches across. We have a height of 3.5 inches. We have a case depth of 1 1/4 inches. For size comparison, let me just bring this up a little bit. Okay, I have out my Eaton Executive satellite. Let's just kind of turn that. Maybe that'll give you an idea here. Yeah, I guess that's going to be the best way to fit it on a frame. But you can see, yeah, the Executive is a bigger radio and a heavier radio, by the way. When this is loaded up with batteries, there's definitely a weight difference. But definitely more substantial feel here. But there you go. That gives you an idea. Tuning wheel sizes and everything. And let's see about thickness. Yeah, they're similar maybe. Looks like they're, yeah. But that gives you kind of an idea. Let's see. depth. Okay, so there's that radio. And of course, then I don't have my Skywave SSB handy, but I do have my C-Crane CC Skywave, which is pretty similar dimensions. And this gives you an idea for the smaller Skywave, which runs on 2AA batteries, which is nice and handy. Definitely a more compact form factor, as you can tell here. I'm gonna hold that up there. Similar tuning setup. I like the push, fast, slow tuning of the Skywaves. So there's the Skywave. All right. So let's see, anything else to show? Oh, I do an Iron Man around here. I think Iron Man decided to leave the building. Yes, Iron Man has left the building. I don't know where he went. Okay, let's go ahead and zoom this back down. We'll talk about features of the radio, and then we'll get to play it, mess around with it a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead to the left-hand side. We have a carry strap. Good spot for it. Left-hand side is perfect for us righties. But that's a good spot for it. Antenna in jack for your FM and shortwave. Real nice when you're using external antennas. People using really big antennas like end feds and magnetic loops have to use an attenuator. I noticed. I watched a few videos and it would overload the front end of this radio. So make sure you're using an attenuator and it'll come in really nice. So I saw a really neat video of that. It's pretty cool. Here we have the volume up and down. It's kind of like analog, very smooth. Headphone jack. Simple, you get your FM stereo, sounds fantastic. The FM, all the bands sound great on the headphones, except when you switch the bands. There's an issue with this radio where when you switch the bands with the headphones on, it pops. It makes a popping sound. Depending on your headphones, it's either obnoxious, livable, or like barely noticeable. So mine's kind of like livable. It's there, even with the volume down, it's the same volume pop. So it's not really a big deal unless your headphones are amped or a certain bass response. It might be more annoying. So if it is, just pull the headphones off a little bit before you switch bands. That's one thing I noticed down there. But otherwise, it's a fantastic listening experience. Looking for distant stations on FM, believe it or not, and medium wave. And of course, airband. The airband sounded, I really liked it on the airband. It sounded really smooth and nice to listen to the pilots with headphones on. It was really cool with this radio. So there you go. All right, front of the radio, we have a metal speaker grill. I love this gunmetal color, by the way. I'm definitely a fan of this color scheme. This metal speaker grill behind it, I kind of averaged about a 2 1/4 to 2.5 inch speaker there. XHDATA, they put a little metal placard there, which I think is neat, and it's kind of raised. Over here, you'll see the display. There's a lot of display information because this is an RDS radio, because it'll be alphanumeric down below. That shows your titles, the songs, and station data and everything else. You see a battery status indicator. You have your clock in 24-hour mode. We have a display similar to the Texans, says temp 79, just change it. This will show you alarm. And then we have temperature again. So you have a couple things when the power's off and then a little bit more when the power's on, and we'll show you that. And of course you have the strong backlight. It's that white blue, very intense, very nice on the eyes. I actually like looking at it, and you can actually turn it on. I'll show you that in a moment. Here's some writing: FM, AM, shortwave, single sideband, AIR. Sweet. Okay, so going down this side here, we have an FM band and a secondary function of FM set. So when the power's off, you can press this to go to 64 to 108 or your 87 to 108. Here we have long wave, medium wave button, and you can toggle long wave on or off while the power's off. Here we have the shortwave band button, and you can change the different meter bands while the radio's on, secondary function. Here we have the airband exclusively. Hit that button, get the airband, and here's the light button. You can actually turn the light on, and it'll stay on. It won't go off, which is great. That's a good thing. I love that. Till the battery's dead. That might be something to watch. Here we have time set on your AM bandwidth and FM stereo select button. So this toggles FM mono, FM stereo, and then when you're in the medium wave, long wave, short wave, single sideband, and AIR modes, you can change the different bandwidths, which we'll go over. You have an alarm function, which is wake up to radio, wake up to a buzzer. We have a display button. I just showed you that. Numeric and direct numeric entry keypad. You'll notice that there's a button number 5 that says beep above it. When the power is off, you can hold this down, turn the annoying beep off. I'm telling you, that beep is annoying. That's the first thing I did, was turn the beep off. If you look down here on 0, it says 9 or 10K, which is your stepping for your medium wave band. Here we have a dedicated frequency button. These buttons act as presets by default. So if you have to enter in a frequency, you have to hit the frequency button first, enter in the frequency, and if you do it right, it automatically jumps to the frequency. You don't have to hit frequency again or enter or anything like that. So that's a nice feature. Just have to hit frequency once, enter it in properly, and off it goes. Here's your page function. Again, there's a lot of features here. Spending a lot of time, but you get to know the radio. Page is interesting. So you get 100 presets per band, so a total of 500 presets, and it's divided out in 10 pages of 10. So you get 10 on page 0, 10 on page 1, all the way up to 9. So they have 0 through 9 pages. And to change the page, just hit page and the number, and then you're on that page, and you just go through all your presets there. One thing I want to note, that the manual says that the information like the bandwidth or your FM stereo, FM mono is saved. It is not. I don't know if it's the firmware on this radio. This is a new batch, but when I did it, none of my bandwidths were saved on any of my stations. AM, any of the shortwave, any of the medium wave, none of that was saved. So I just want to let you guys know, it'll save your stations and everything properly, but it's not going to save any extra information. Like they said, what the heck? Minor oversight, I'm not worried about it too much. XHDATA D-808 on the bottom there. Down over here, we got the power on off button. Yeah. Which we'll get to, turning it on. Here's the sleep function. Yeah, you get a bunch of sleep options, which is nice. So it turns the radio off so you don't run the battery down. Single sideband button, awesome. I know you guys love it. This is a great radio for single sideband, affordable solution. I love that it's almost $80 and you can get on single sideband, listen to the hams, love it. We have upper sideband, lower sideband toggle with this info button here. Also, it acts as a lock function and the RDS info button. So the RDS is for on your FM. You can toggle it right there with the info button. Up and down tuning. So this is interesting too. I got to make note of, which we'll show you. Up and down, really nice to toggle with these instead of using the knob if you want to. It's great to start a browse. On shortwave, typically I'll use these for that. But when you're on FM or medium wave and you start a browse and it stops right away, like you find a station and right next to it there's a station that stops, it makes a popping sound. And it's just, I don't know what it is. It must it just can't slow down enough to stop. But if there's no stations in between, like a few seconds, it'll soft, the next station will come on soft and won't come on popping. So interesting thing with this seek, and I'll show you what's going on with that. Let's see, right hand side, we have the tuning. So we have this tuning knob, which is really nice. You press in for steps, so you can go slow, fast, and stop. And then you have a squelch function similar to the Skywave, so you can press this in and change your squelch, and we'll show you that in the airband. Then we have a fine tune wheel. This wheel is fantastic. I mean, this is a really good addition to a radio. You can be on medium wave, you can be listening to your station, you can have this set on fast, and you go here and go 1 kilohertz tuning. You don't have to change this to slow. I love that, especially when you're in single sideband also. You can stay on slow and then go fine tune here. You don't have to press this again to get to the fine mode. On the satellite, you have to do that. I find it cumbersome. Here, it just takes away a step, which is great, and I'm really enjoying the fact that they did this. Pretty cool setup. USB in, 5 volts, charge the radio up. Okay, on the back of the radio, we have the antenna. The antenna measures out at a whopping, I have this written down, 26 inches, and pivots 360, and they have a spot there where it can clear the radio, which is nice. The back of the little vented case, we got the flip-out stand, which I think is fairly tight. Yeah, we'll just leave that alone. But there's your frequency chart there, made in China. It has an 18650 battery. I'm not going to play around with that door. It's pretty difficult to open and close, but it shows you with the positive to the left. Pretty simple. It's one battery, and it works pretty good. Now, runtime, people ask, I think it's about 20 to 25 hours. People report. Mine so far has been pretty good, pretty solid. Down over here, we have a reset hole on the bottom. So if your radio runs into an issue, you can just hit reset with that little toothpick in there. That'll come into focus, probably not. But that's a good thing to have in case it has a little glitch. All right, so let's go ahead and turn this thing on. Let's get it fired up. So we're going to do an audio test first on the FM band. Should be static, I think. Let me just hit play. There we go. I'm going to zoom it on in. Play this for about a minute or so. I'm using a C-Crane FM transmitter 2 to supply it the music that is royalty-free. There you go. So I'm safe with YouTube. And you get an idea kind of what it sounds like on the FM band.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Okay, get an idea there. I thought I'd just show you that real quick. Go ahead and just pause that, turn that power off, turn off that transmitter. Okay, so yeah, I just want to give you a quick, there's a lot to cover. So I want to show you, we're in the FM band, tuning it. You can do your 10 kilohertz stepping. I gotta watch out for music. And my antenna's down, I'm actually getting good reception. Surprising. So yeah, you can tune it here. You can fine tune here, which is great. Very nice. Actually, you know what? I will put my antenna up. Let's go ahead and just do this. Let's try to get some shortwave in. Okay, extend the antenna all the way. See if that sounds better. There we go. RDS is coming in now. And you can change, I'll show you how to change it.
Bo musi być jakaś atrakcja, która ściągnie tam ludzi spoza tego kraju.
This, people have noticed the RDS isn't quite right, but for the program type, but the songs come in fine, artist title, and sometimes your station data.
To była przeszła ulicą Milwaukee, później było na ulicy State, no i teraz z powrotem wróciło na Columbus, które miejsce jest takim naprawdę prestiżowym, które jest ważne, ponieważ tam nie tylko my maszerujemy, potem jest Cinco de Mayo i tak dalej, chodzą latynosi.
Okay, so that gives you an idea how that works. Pretty simple. Of course, you saw me hit display. There's your signal noise ratio. You have your temp. You have the alarm. And then you have the clock. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but hidden feature here with the number 3 button, it toggles the centigrade and Fahrenheit. I didn't know how to do that at first. It kept saying C. And in the book, it says how to change that. And you just press and hold 3 with the power off, and it lets you change from Fahrenheit to centigrade. In case I forgot to say that. I may have forgotten that. But now you know. And knowing's half the battle. So there you go. Yeah, pretty much presets work, where I can go back to my radio todderbert, and then over here I added.
Well, that's a great question. I think
meteorologist Bob Larson.
Cloudy and chilly tonight. Occasional reads with that viewpoint.
So I'm going to show you what the popping sound is. Let's see if we can do it here.
All other paths are than you have.
See, that little pop you heard was because the station was too close to the next station on the seek, and it found it. So it pops in. Typically, if it doesn't find a station really quick like that, it tends to soft in. It comes in smooth. Like that. And there's that pop again. So that's kind of how the seeking works on stations really close together. Typically on shortwave, you don't run into that issue, but with FM and medium wave, you're not going to use seek a whole lot. Pretty much just enter your frequencies in, or use the tuning knob to get to it quickly, or step up and step down instead of doing a seek. Just letting you know. That's one thing I noticed. Okay, so that's our FM. Let's go to airband. Airband's fun. So the airband shares all the same filters as medium wave, long wave, short wave, as those 4 together. So if I press this,
1210, Delta 1456, cadet.
2.5, 2.8, 1, 6, 4. So you can see there's quite a few to choose from. Here I'd saved a bunch of presets for different frequencies. You just tap the different ones. Maybe here we hear any activity. I wish there was a way you could just dial through them. The Radio Wow does that, and so does that new. So does that new Hangrangda HRD 737. You can actually use.
American 122.
You can actually use the volume controls. This is tuning, but on that radio it's volume. To change through really quickly, so you can find activity. Here you have to just kind of cycle. cycle the buttons. And I just kind of marked the most busy.
Left 180, America 122.
There's squelch, but I find it's a little aggressive. Oh, gotta hold it in there. Okay. And you tend not to hear much. Okay, let me just set it down to one more. I wish it was more active. Go to 1. Yeah, see, 1's not enough and 2 might be too much. So I tend to just leave it off. But you can see, you can load up all these different frequencies, searching for activity.
Fresh American 4 what heavy, leveling out at 10,000 for in and out.
Okay, so you get an idea of the air band. Pretty basic, get 100 presets, like I said, per band. It shares the same bandwidth settings as medium wave, long wave, and shortwave. So let's head on over to shortwave. I have a little wire in my window, and this is a little Texan wire from a PL380. I'm just going to clip it to my antenna here. I don't have my other setup going, so very simple, basic, add a little gain. There's squelch is still on, I'm just going to turn that off. I don't want to squelch the shortwave. So we're going to start a little higher up the band since it's daytime. It is, I believe, 5:19 p.m. Central Daylight Savings Time in Chicago, Illinois. And let's see what we can find real quick, just something. Let's run up this band a little bit. We don't find anything, no big deal. I'm going to do some shortwave, medium wave band scans with this radio so you get an idea of what it can do. Nice thing is when it finds something, it stops. There's no like browse, like, oh man, what station was that? It'll stop on a station that you find, which is pretty handy. So yeah, and then of course you have all your different bandwidths. And then of course when you go to your single sideband, you have different.
Christians don't fight evil. Christians, true Christians.
Okay, we know who that is. Single sideband, you get 4K, 3K, 2.2K, 1.2, 1K, and then 500 hertz. So you can get that CW really good on the single sideband. Pretty good. I've been using it. Works really well. It's equal pretty much to the Eaton satellite, this radio here, as far as working the single sideband. I noticed the satellite's a little nicer to listen to. The speaker's just a little bit more bassy. Found a station there. And then once we'll get to, 10-ish, we'll go ahead and maybe go a little bit past and we'll hit medium wave, and then we'll do kind of our overall thoughts on this radio. Personally, I'm enjoying it every bit, even though it has this little quirks with the little popping sounds. I'm getting used to it, kind of just using it as it goes. I don't mind using it with speaker only. That's probably how I'm going to use this radio, so I don't think I'll be doing headphones unless I'm on a trip or something. I might bring a pair of headphones with it and try to do some DXing, on the medium wave. This thing is very good on the medium wave, by the way. I'm very impressed with it. I think it edges out the satellite just by a little bit. So we're just finding pretty much local stations. I kind of figured that from downstairs here. If I was up with my longer wire upstairs, I might be able to pick up some, Voice of Greece and different stations a little further out. Radio Saudi, those stations come in pretty easily on the midday, mid-afternoon. So we're just going to hit about 10. I'm sure we'll get a time signal at 10, or if not, I'll enter it in. Okay, so it passed that up. So what we do is stop the browse. Okay, these are presets saved. I don't think I have any 10 in there, so let's go ahead and enter our frequency. So hit frequency, enter in the frequency you want, and if you just do it right, if it goes to it, so pretty simple, yeah. And for single sideband work, we'll do a video and I'll try to find some hams and we'll show how the single sideband works. But right now, it'd be just too much time to spend in the video. But it works pretty good. Let's just show you what it looks like. Hit single sideband. Oh, tap it, so I'm holding it. So it defaults to lower, so if you're usually above 10, you're going to want to go upper. tap the wrong button. You got the one below it. So lower sideband, upper sideband. And if you find a station with hams, you go to your fine tuning, and you can fine tune them in, which is fantastic. So you don't have to play around with this like you do on the satellite. An extra step. This is just a real nice way of tuning that signal in. So let's go ahead and turn it off. Let's go to medium wave. Turn that. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't make pop sounds when you're changing bands with the speaker, but when you have headphones on, you'll hear it. Let's go bring this antenna down. Yeah, the medium wave is where it's at. This radio is amazing.
Most advanced Silverado ever. Visit WisconsinDriveChevy.com.
Look, I don't want to have fun with this, and I don't want to laugh at this, and I don't want to make a joke about this. All right? This is happening right now.
I don't want to hold my breath at all.
Happening with Le'Veon Bell, newly of the New York Jets. While he did show up for the start of, quote, voluntary workout.
The cool thing is you can do fine tuning.
The collective media
which makes it fun.
Dangerous job, but clogged gutters are one of the worst things for your home. They lead to things like wood rot.
So I have no fear that missing a leaky roof.
Knowledge of Lake County. You can register at moments. Why am I putting myself through?
That was a squirrel. 1180 WSQR.
Gratifying. It was nice. I felt really good for everybody who got to experience that. But to me, personally, it's like there's so many things to get stressed out in life about, man. It like all of the lows of being a sports fan do not match the highs.
Well, real quick before
We let you go. How big a believer are you in the Browns this year?
If you want to switch back to shortwave, I don't know if I showed you that. I want to show you the different bandwidths real quick, and then we'll do final thoughts. So if you're in your sideband mode, you can change the bandwidths. Here's your options: 4, 3, 2.2, 1.2, 1, and 500 hertz. So there you go. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this off and do final thoughts. Yay! Okay, final thoughts on the XHDATA D-808. Is it a buy? Yeah. I mean, right around $80. I really felt that it was worth giving it a go. I think when they released, they were around $69, maybe $65. I don't know how low it was. Maybe you guys can tell me. That must have been a really good deal. But to find this under 100, because it was like 120 or 130 forever, and I felt that was too much money for what this is. But for an $80 radio with single sideband on it, it was worth the shot. And I'll put a link down below. If you're wanting this radio, check it out. And if it'll be a listing of all the different vendors selling this radio on eBay. Find the guy who's selling it the least and who sold the most. It'll actually show he sold like over 100, and he'll have Australian dollars as his monetary thing, even though it doesn't really matter. But he has that there, and I'll put his name underneath the link so you know which one to buy from. I mean, that guy's cool. If you're living in the States, it says from China, but he must have a setup going where he can drop ship from California. So, and I got my radio in 5 days, and that was awesome. Thank you, sir. Whoever sent me this radio. He's down below. Check it out. Pretty cool. Click the link and help the channel out if you do buy the radio. You'll have a good time with it. I mean, it is worth the investment. I am having a great time using this radio. Like I said, medium wave's fantastic. Shortwave is very usable. Airband's fun. Everything on it. The FM reception is, wow, just amazing. Finding 85 stations. I don't think I gave that report, did I? FM reception report. 85 stations found. It got a very good to excellent rating, and FM selectivity was very good to excellent. So this radio scored 4.5 stars on the FM. I might have left that out because I got too excited about all these features, and the FM was amazing. So yeah, if you're looking for an FM radio too that rocks, this does it. This is just an amazing FM radio. Yeah, bing ding ding. At the end of the video, you get to find that out. So if you enjoyed the presentation, please give me a big like. You guys are awesome. We're going to revisit this radio in a lot of different videos, so not a problem. You're going to see it in shortwave and medium wave and even FM and airband, and we're just going to explore every bit of it. Two, if you're new to the channel, you like XHDATA, you like this particular radio, or like their shortwave radios, like the Radio Wow R108, I have a lot of videos on that one also. Hit subscribe, hit the bell icon if you haven't already. I get notified of those videos. And then three, comment below you think about the D-808. Would it be a radio you would invest in and have fun with? Really, to be honest with you, if you need single sideband, a lot of people have to have that. This is a great, inexpensive go-to radio I would recommend, along with the satellite radio. This one here I'd recommend also. This one I was able to pick up at $91. I was surprised to get that low. It was on Amazon for $91. And I'll link to this too if it's still on sale. Both great radios. The satellite gets a little bit of an edge because of its audio quality, but this gets a little bit of an edge with its bandwidth controls, especially on medium wave. It makes this thing a little medium wave DXer, and I love it. All right, well, there you go, guys. And we'll see you next episode. Take care, and goodbye.